I wanted to mention, but we ran out of time because we have a lot of content.
Which always happens on the show.
I know.
Okay.
If you Google anything relative to authors or writers, there are a lot of people committed to giving you advice on how to write your book, how to market your book. Because actually, when you go to a publisher, if you do that, and even thinking of self-publishing, work mostly on your marketing plan, because that's what a publisher would buy. And that's what makes you money, is you work on your marketing plan first.
Yeah, it is the reality.
It's a reality anymore.
It's business, because publishing is a business, and they want to make money on your book. And so they want to know how they're going to make money, which boils down to your marketing plan. Of course, you have to have a good book, you have to have a good message, you have to be authentic, and you have to be a good writer. But at the same time, it boils down to that marketing plan is so important. So we're also talking about traditional publishing versus self-publishing. Let's take a look at traditional publishing and what that really entails.
Okay, again, choose your genre.
Research publishers and authors. And so there are publishers for every genre of book. There are publishers that just do cookbooks, publishers that just do magazines. I mean, there are all kinds of publishers out there.
That just do how-tos.
That Writer's Market book is a
Yes.
really good resource, and they update that every year.
And it's at the bookstore.
It's at the bookstore, yeah, absolutely. Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, you can pick up that Writer's Market. It's a really good book. Okay, so also...
We already talked about platform.
I know, it's so important though. But
yeah, if you're passionate about what you want to write on, then you have to get used to going out in the public and talking about it. Even if you start with 4 people in your home. This is what I love, this one I want to talk about, this one I want to write about. Just get used to speaking your message, because it will make your writing better.
And you really have to ask yourself, why should a publisher even print your work? Because if you can't answer the question yourself, then you're going to have a hard time convincing a publisher why they should publish your work. So you really have to get crystal clear on why a publisher would want your work. And then also the money reality of publishing. There are very few 6-figure advances being tossed around anymore.
No, they're not. Here is a reality check on publishers. Seth Godin, the author of The Purple Cow.
Yes.
He made a big splash in the newspaper because he's self-publishing the rest of his books. He doesn't need the publisher anymore.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's true.
Because
I'm in the know.
Well, and here's why. Because even if you go to a traditional publisher and you get a big advance, you still have to earn back that advance. And then after you earn back that advance, the royalties that you make on every copy of book sold do not even come close to what you can make on every book sold if you self-publish.
That's right. On a hard copy, you make $1 to $2, depending on how many you sell. And on trade paperbacks, 75 cents.
Yeah.
So you work super hard with events, speaking engagements, email newsletters going out to your people, your contingency, and then you make virtually no money. Whereas if you self-publish through one of the digital printers, you can choose how many copies you want to create.
Print on demand.
Print on demand, and they'll turn up on your doorstep.
So let's take a look. Let's take a look at self-publishing, because we also have some of the things. What is your goal? If you're self-publishing, this is just like if you're going to go to a traditional publisher. You really need to get crystal clear on what your goal is. What do you want to print and why?
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so you already answered what do you want to print. Research print-on-demand providers. Gosh, there's Lightning Source,
Lulu,
Amazon. Amazon
yes, has a really good one.
Yes, you can. My friend published his novel through Amazon. They put the link right up there. It's just more product for them to have on their site. So it's very easy to do, even if you only bought 10 books and it was $3 a book.
Well, and that's what I love about print on demand. You can print as many as you think you can sell. And so as you start to get some momentum and some success, you can start printing more. And then as you get hired as a speaker and you want books in the back of the room, and here's the beautiful part about self-publishing.
What?
You make so much more money per book than you do going through a publisher.
So let's say it costs you $3 to print it.
Yes.
You sell it for $15, $12, right there.
And a lot of print on demands, they'll help you with the distribution.
Yes, they will.
Because
they'll have a website. I mean, it's not going to be awesome. Really, you're going to sell them out of your trunk of your car.
It's going to take work.
It's going to take work.
It's going to take a lot of work.
It's a widget. And another thing that's great about print on demand that you don't have to buy a lot at one time.
Right.
Your first run, you open it up and all of a sudden your spelling errors jump out at you. Even though you read that sentence 14,000 times.
Well, that's why even if you're self-publishing, treat it as a business.
Yes.
Because you do want to hire an editor, you want to hire
proofreader.
a designer, people to put it together so it looks like a professional product. Don't think that you can do it all by yourself.
No.
Self-publishing doesn't mean go do it all by yourself. It means go do some of it by yourself.
Yeah,
And be smart about it.
right. And then know that you can take articles from your book and
Yes.
post them around online. Send them to newspapers, see if they'll be published there. I hope we're not getting too far off track
Well, no,
here.
and we also want to figure out your costs. And so when you're self-publishing, make sure that you figure out what your budget is. How many books can you afford to buy, and how long is it going to take you to turn those books around so that you can actually make a profit on them?
Well, and they have a formula on these websites where you choose the size of the book,
Yes.
the quantity, the number of pages,
How it's bound.
how it's bound, and they're all divisible by 16, I think it is. So you figure out that, and then they give you the cost. And you're like, whoa, that's too much. Okay, I'm going to make the book a little smaller.
But you can start
know?
off with a small book. You can start off with
Sure.
a workbook. You can start off, I mean, what is that one book that sold so many, all the pages were blank?
Oh, yeah, What Men Know About Women. And you open up the book, and nothing's in there.
Nothing, just a bunch of blank pages.
Millions and millions
Okay, we
of
only
copies.
have 1 minute left, so our last few tips. Make sure you know who's going to buy that book, even if you're self-publishing, hiring a designer, be ready to work, because this is going to take work. Even though it can be fun, work can be fun. And then finally, write,
Right,
write,
right.
write,
Edit,
write,
edit.
edit, write,
Seriously.
and keep doing it over and over. And if you have to start, we always like the quarter-hour crunch. You can start writing in 15 minutes a day.
Absolutely.
Just sit down for 15 minutes a day and start writing. Please send your emails to Big Break at Momstown. Tell us what you love about the show, what you suggest for the show. We want to hear your feedback at bigbreak@momstown.com.
And tell your friends about Momstown.
Thanks for being with us today, and go write that book.